Example E, we're given an angle diagram and we want to find angles L, M, N, O and P. We're only given one angle of 130, so that's a good place to start, and immediately we can work out P because P and 130 are vertically opposite. Think about your X rule there. Vertically opposite angles are the same. So P is equal to 130 degrees because of the X rule for vertically opposite angles. And then pencil that into your diagram. Okay, just to be different, I'm going to try and get angle L now, and the way in which I'm going to get that is by using the Z rule, because angle P and angle L are alternate angles. And to prove it, first thing I'm going to do is trace over the two lines that L lies between, so that little line, and then this line here. So that's going to form part of our Z. And then I'm going to complete the Z by tracing over the other line. So you can clearly see there we have our letter Z. It contains two parallel lines, and then that means that angle P and angle L are alternate because they both lie inside the letter Z and they both lie at the joints of the Z, so they are the same. So that means that L is also 130 degrees. And that's because of the Z rule for alternate angles. And then we'll pencil that into our diagram. Okay, the next plan, well, we could get M straight away because M and L are supplementary angles or angles on a straight line because they lie beside each other and they cover a total angle of 180 degrees. So to get angle M, we're going to subtract 130 from 180, and that's just going to leave us with 50. So angle M is 50 degrees because of angles on a straight line, ASL. And then pencil it in. Now again, I'm just going to be different here. I'm going to use another angle property to get angle N, and the angle property that I am going to use here is the F rule. Now you could go a different way about it, but this is the way I'm going to go about it because I just want to demonstrate as many different rules as possible. So I'm actually going to use the F rule. And in order to do that, I'm going to trace over the two lines that angle N lies between. So I'm going to trace over that line and then trace over this line. So that's going to form part of our F. I'm going to draw the blue line on a bit further. Like that. And then I'm going to trace over this other line to complete our letter F. Like that. So we've got our letter F. It contains two parallel lines, and what that means is that angle N and angle L are corresponding angles because they both lie inside the letter F, they lie at the joints of the F, and they lie on the same side of each parallel line. N is to the right of this parallel line, and L is to the right of this parallel line. So they're corresponding, and that means they're the same. So if L is 130, N is also 130. And again, we can pencil that into our diagram. So that just leaves angle O. Again, there's different ways we can go about getting O. The way in which I'm going to get O is I am going to use the U rule. And in order to do that, I am going to make angle O and angle N interior angles. So I'm going to trace over the line that joins them. And then trace over the two parallel lines. Like that. And you can see our letter U here, which contains two parallel lines. So what that means is the angles O and N, which lie inside the U and at the joints of the U, are interior angles. They add together to give 180 degrees. So we worked out N as 130. So to get O, we're going to subtract 130 from 180, and that's going to leave us with 50. So angle O is equal to 50 degrees, and that is when we used the U rule. So again, it's important to stress here, people, that this is the way I did this question, to demonstrate as many different angle properties as possible. You can go about it in another way as well, in different ways. So there is more than one way you can get a particular value for an answer.